Today, let's talk about golf, or rather, what golf has boiled down to these days. The PGA Tour versus LIV Golf saga. Remember those meetings that Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy were talking about? Well, another one of those just happened. Yes, folks, that campaign is still alive and well because practically, golf's still where it was all those months ago, in the trenches. So, here's all you need to know about it. First up, another meeting was called. The official sequel of that meeting before the BMW Championship in August was held only a few days ago. This time, the occasion was the Hero World Challenge in Albany, Bahamas. We have the Golf Channel reporter Rex Hoggard to thank for this tea. Yeah, Tiger Woods' injury can stop him from playing in his own tournament, but it can't stop him from hosting it, and with it, a meeting to cope with the LIV threat. We know that these meetings are meant to convince the attending players to avoid LIV golf like the plague. And you know, when Tiger tells you what's right for your golf career and what's not, you freaking listen. You listen because he's the only golfer who's also a billionaire. Same as the last time, this meeting was also attended by 23 people. But what was different this time was that Jay Monahan was present. Yes, the commissioner himself, via Zoom. McIlroy too wasn't in the Bahamas, so he joined the meeting via Zoom as well. Because no, you don't defend the PGA Tour without him on the front lines. In a way, these meetings mirror what happened in 1994, when Arnold Palmer gathered fellow PGA members and convinced them to denounce the disrupting ideas put forward by, take a guess, Greg Norman. The difference is that Palmer never had to call a second meeting, and that Norman wasn't driving a multi-billion-dollar vehicle fueled by the Saudi Crown Prince's money. While things might be different now, it's obvious that McIlroy and Woods do not intend to back down. Following up, what did they talk about? Since the fly we planted on the wall of that meeting room in Albany hasn't flown back yet, we'll have to resort to what Rex Hoggard revealed about it. According to Hoggard, his sources told him that this meeting was almost like a continuation of the conversation that was held in the first meeting in Delaware, all the way back in August. So basically, they talked about preparing a response to the growing LIV threat. And of course, this response includes getting the current top members of the PGA Tour to stay. Rex went ahead and asked Woods himself about the meeting, asking him what he talked about to the 20 players present there. It turns out that once again, he spoke to them about the non-existent chances of creating a legacy at LIV Golf, the limited exposure their careers will get if they are to jump ship, and also, of course, losing the opportunity to play at the major championships. Also, he reminded them that now there's more money to make at the PGA too. The golfing great also believes that the LIV golf model is not promoting quality golf. The way he sees it, the 54-hole game and the guaranteed money that the players make whether they show up or not don't require the players to practice all that much and work hard to earn their glory. And this is something he pities the LIV golfers for, ditching quality golf and a good career for a ton of money and a bad golf model. Now, he's trying his best to not let others make the same mistake. Up next, are these meetings effective? Now let's evaluate if the hard work of the two of the best golfers in the world is bearing any fruit at all. See, golf is a sport where in each era you have a legend, and that legend has an unquestioned influence over the game. What they say matters. Remember, we said Palmer convinced the players in that 94 meeting? Well, all he had to say for it was that he wasn't game, and everyone just followed him. The point is that yes, these meetings are definitely effective, to some extent at least. Take Cameron Young, for example. After the first meeting, he said Tiger's words had a great impact on him, and he stopped thinking about joining the Saudi-backed league because of its big paychecks. But then again, the threat is big. Say whatever you will, but in the end, hundreds of millions of guaranteed dollars, that too for a flexible schedule and less golf, is no joke. Players are going to be tempted. Where Tiger's words did their magic on Cameron Young, Joaquin Niemann wasn't convinced and defected to the Rebel League after the meeting. So yeah, the threat still stands. Hell, the fact that another meeting was needed this time of the year is evidence that the threat is here and that it's big. The meetings are a nice touch, but we're afraid they're not good enough on their own. Coming up, other efforts the tour has put in. The PGA Tour is working really hard to ward off the LIV danger for a tour that believes LIV hasn't got what it takes to become a dominant force. Apart from Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy putting their hearts and souls into talking to the players, the tour has other mechanisms in motion as well. First, they have changed their schedule for next year and expanded the number of events for the next season. They've also raised their overall purses significantly. But that's not it. After everything else, we've got the PIP Award, or the Player Impact Program Award, which was introduced in 2021 to cope with the Rebel League. Now, they've doubled the prize money. Apart from playing a particular number of events, this award also depends on the television and social media attention that a golfer has attracted in a year. So basically, you play the tour events and divert the clout traffic from LIV to the PGA, and you win according to your performance from a $100 million pool. And that's just about the pro level. The golf wars have seeped down to the college golfers as well. If the Saudi-backed league is out there offering big money to the young newcomers, the tour has also rolled up its sleeves and introduced new programs and patterns through which the young college talent can find their way into the tour and become its permanent members. Then, of course, there's the legal battle. The messy legal battle. All we'll say is that it's not going too good for either side, but Lord knows both sides are working harder than the devil. Now let's talk about those who don't think Greg Norman should leave. First off, as opposed to who? Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods, obviously. The peace between the two circuits seems too far from reality, and while before it was because of the game and the money differences, now the PGA loyalists are saying it's because of the LIV CEO, Greg Norman. Rory was the first to say that Norman needs to leave. According to the Northern Irishman, with Greg as the leader, peace is never an option. This is because he believes the shark is not an adult. A few days later, he said that Woods spoke too and agreed with the world's #1 ranked golfer. For the two sides to find a middle ground, the cases in the court must be taken back. Woods says LIV should do it because they sued the tour first, but the two PGA legends agree that Norman would never do such a thing because he wants to destroy the PGA Tour and doesn't want to negotiate at all. Moving on, Cam Smith has his back. The current world #3 has got Norman's back. He responded to the comments made about the current LIV CEO needing to leave, saying that it's not true. Smith agrees that Greg can be a little abrasive, but he said that his circuit's leader is really passionate about his league and is doing really well as a leader. So no, Cam says Norman is just the right leader for LIV. Here's another defender, Mark Leishman. Another Aussie to Norman's defense, Mark Leishman, who's also a LIV defector and has stakes in a LIV franchise along with Cam Smith, said the 67-year-old has done a great job. Mark said he understands that everybody in today's golf landscape has strong opinions about things, and he respects that, but he says he doesn't want to get into the wars of words. All he cares about is that his career is in a good place, that he's happy, and that Greg Norman is going to do a fine job as a CEO. Lastly, we have Adam Scott. This is interesting because Adam is still at the PGA, but LIV wants him badly. Scott thinks that these days Woods and McIlroy speak for the tour, and he doesn't necessarily agree with their latest take about Norman. He also went on to say that finding a middle ground isn't all that important. LIV can do its own thing and PGA its own. The way he sees it, the future of golf doesn't depend on the two circuits working together. The future is safe as long as good golf is being played. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think calling meetings is a good enough way to defend the PGA Tour against the LIV threat? And what else do you think they should be doing? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.